Adeyanju, Tinubu didn't appoint an economist in the CBN as governor because he's Igbo. Instead, a Yoruba mechanic. Can you imagine? So there was an economist there in CBN who is qualified to also be the CBN governor or acting governor. Okay, but because he's an Igbo man, Tinubu bypassed him and they used a Yoruba man that is a mechanic. That means it's tribal by God. Okay, that is another tribalism from Tinubu there, and we know it. Even if they did not say it, we know that Tinubu hates Igbo people to the bone. He will never give them anything meaningful. Even among the portfolios, he gave 5 portfolios to Igbos. He just put them there so that it will look like he didn't go across Nigeria. But we know the significance of the offices he gave to all of them. And that is why Mahdi is saying that, Shehu Mahdi also is saying that, the kind of portfolio he gave the Igbos in his ministerial list is just the crumbs on the table. He gave them the crumbs. He hates the Igbo to the bone. So I will not be surprised. Let's see what Adeyanju has to say more. Adeyanju accuses Tinubu of ethnic bias in CBN governor appointment. The prominent social commentator Adeyanju has expressed his reservations over President Tinubu's decision regarding the leadership of the Central Bank of Nigeria, following the suspension of Godwin Emefiele in the early stages of Tinubu's administration. Rather than appointing a seasoned economist as a replacement, his deputy, Mr. Sean Obi, automatically assumed the role. Okay, so Adeyanju has been vocal about the continuous devaluation of Nigeria's currency. So he directly attributed this to the absence of a qualified economist at the helm of the nation's apex bank. Taking to his social media, Adeyanju said, "I kept screaming that it was a wrong move when Tinubu made a mechanic CBN governor, but they were insulting me. Now the dollar is approaching 1,000 naira and will keep rising." Can you imagine? He further claimed that Tinubu's decision was motivated by ethnic considerations rather than merit. There is an economist in that CBN, but Tinubu didn't make him acting because he is Igbo. Instead, he preferred his Yoruba brother, Adeyanju alleged. So this is exactly what happened, and it is a very, very terrible one. Okay, it is noteworthy that since the beginning of President Tinubu's tenure, Adeyanju has constantly urged him to place an economist at the helm of the CBN rather than banker. So what is happening here, Adeyanju just said the truth for the first time, but that doesn't exonerate him from the same tribal or APC bigotry. That is the truth. So that he said this is not enough to appeal to us. Adeyanju is the right person, because Adeyanju and Redo Mokri have been talking rubbish against the Igbos right from beginning, even though they are in PDP, but they're also working for APC, just like Wike is in PDP and working for APC. These are the things that messed up PDP completely. So, but again, coming back to the point here, Tinubu hate the Igbos to his bones, we know that. So that he decided to use a Yoruba man that is a mechanic as acting CBN governor rather than using an Igbo man as a seasoned economist shows again how he hates the Igbos. So I will not be surprised. And that is why Nigeria is sinking, because most people are not occupying the right offices. That is the truth. You went and bring a lawyer to make him Minister of Housing. You went and bring a doctor to make him Attorney General Federation. And then what else do you get? You bring a civil engineer, you go and make him Minister for Health. So you cannot work that way. That is the truth. You cannot put a square peg in a round hole and expect it to go in freely. It will never go in freely. So what is happening here is that why Nigeria is sinking is because of nepotism, tribalism, and favoritism. All the tisms that that are dangerous to the development of a nation is what we see in Nigeria. That is the truth. Even Buhari did it, and he didn't start with all of them. So what Adeyanju is saying is just a revelation to further buttress the fact that Tinubu hated the Igbos to the core. For the first time since his return to Deji, that's what somebody say here. With that Deji said this does not enough. He said enough for me to give him a credit for anything because it's obvious. What he said is not a secret. It's done is done. Someone say, yeah, man, you don't need to talk on our behalf. You chameleon. Exactly. That's what somebody's telling him. Don't talk on behalf of Igbos because we know that tomorrow you will join forces with other Igbo enemies and start scattering the Igbos. It is better to watch your mouth. The acting governor of CBN happens to be the most senior deputy governor, not because he's a Yoruba man. Wait for the appointment and confirmation of a new governor of CBN. Special investigator Obazi shall deliver can worms, Jagaba and Karigo. Can you imagine? See them. Now somebody is there now trying to warn Deji for spilling the beans. But we already know. Okay, we already know. So there's nothing new. What rubbish is this guy talking about here? So you expect President Bola Ahmed Tinubu to appoint another Igbo as acting CBN governor after Emefiele so that he can continue on the same system that failed Emefiele? Abi, Mr. Detribalized Nigerian, you don't know what you are talking about. You are only whipping sentiments so that you may be seen as a detribalized person. Wait until when you become the president so that you can appoint a non-Nigerian as your CBN governor. Can you imagine? So because Emefiele is an Igbo man or a Delta Igbo, so another Igbo person should not go there if he's the most qualified. Oh, wow. Is your Tinubu himself clean? It's not clean now. That is it. I would say there are other angles you could have used to make your point rather than your tribal slurs. I can defend Tinubu's position far better than you have done without touching in ethnicity. Can you imagine? You are after region, not Nigerian growth. This is what is happening in Nigeria. It's a country of tribalism, a country of favoritism, and a country of just compensation with roles. You know, when people have done dirty job, you give them roles and portfolios to make them happy. That's what I see here. But Tinubu already showed it from beginning of his campaign, exactly what they did during the election period, just because they came out to vote Obi. That is the only major crime they have committed this period that made Tinubu to hate them so badly. But it is what it is. Adeyanju has spilled the beans already. Tinubu appointed a Yoruba mechanic as a CBN governor or acting CBN governor instead of Igbo man that is most qualified because of his tribal sentiments. So thank you for listening, and let's have your comment.